Hello, folks. Welcome to the stream. My name is Joe, and I am a developer educator at Twilio. Let me know in chat if you can hear me okay. I'm not Rosendo. I'm sorry to disappoint. I'm coming at you direct because I have a weird streaming setup, and this was just easier. So welcome to Global Hack Week Share. I am here to talk to you all about Twilio and what Twilio has going on this week at Global Hack Week. I'm going to fill you in on everything you need to know to complete the Twilio Challenges, to earn all those points, and to take part in the Twilio Quest operation, and also just to answer a bunch of your questions. We're already getting loads of questions in the Discord, so if you have questions about Twilio or Twilio Quest from your hacking already, or questions come up during this chat, feel free to throw them in there. I can see the chat. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I see some Twilio field operators in the chat. That's wonderful. So let's get started. I'm going to press this button and hope that it works. That's very loud. Why is that so loud, and where is that coming from? One sec. Did anyone else just get blasted by music, or is that just me? Possibly just me. I'm going to turn that way down, and I'm going to turn that on. Okay. I think we're okay now. Perfect. Excellent. So now that we're not being blasted by music, can everyone see my screen? Can everyone still hear me? I have no idea why I was just blasted by music, but that will be a fun clip for whoever's near the clip button. Anyway, let's talk about what Twilio is. Stunned. Okay, so Twilio, for those of you who don't know, Twilio is a platform that helps you integrate communications into your projects, into your apps, into your websites. And what do I mean by communications? I mean pretty much any way that you could get in contact with someone through the power of the internet or through digital means, Twilio has available so that you can build it into your apps. Say, for example, you want to message one of your customers or one of your users, and you want, you're like, hey, I want to send this person a text with their auth code, or maybe with like an update. Twilio has SMS. So with a simple API, you can build SMS, sending a message from a telephone or to a telephone straight into your applications. We also have voice calls. So you can make phone calls, you can accept phone calls. So a user could phone up and go for a phone menu. If you've ever called a number and been through one of those like robot menus, you could build that with Twilio. Or you can phone people up and give them information, or you can put two contacts in touch with each other over the phone. We have video. So if you want to make like your own version of Zoom, or you want to build video into your applications, or you want to make your own Twitch, we have all of that as well. Basically, any way that you could want to communicate with someone, we have an API to do that. If you are not familiar with APIs, you're in the perfect place. Welcome to Global Hack Week Share. You're going to learn some wonderful things. APIs enable you to interact with someone else's code, with someone else's service, and Twilio is a web API. So you can build an application that sends requests to the Twilio services to do those things. So say you want to send an SMS, all you have to do is send a HTTP request to Twilio and say, hey, send this text message for me, and Twilio goes and does it. It's super simple. That is the brief overview. I imagine that will raise lots of questions. If you don't understand any of what I just said, do not worry though, because what I'm here to tell you about today is Twilio Quest. And Twilio Quest is a free educational game built by us here at Twilio. You can see it running over in the background here. That teaches you a bunch of programming concepts. And some of the concepts that you can learn include APIs and how to use Twilio, as well as JavaScript, Python, open source with Git and GitHub, and some other stuff that I'm currently forgetting, which is terrible, but there is other stuff. And why would you want to do that? Well, let me tell you that in terms of the Global Hack Week Share Challenges. So over on the challenge page, which I'm sure you're all familiar with by now, you will be able to find the Twilio Challenges, and I'm going to briefly introduce you to some of those and let you know how they work and when they work. So every day this week, there will be a daily challenge up there. There'll be 3 challenges that you will see from Twilio. So you will see one that will change every day, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then you'll see 2 constant ones. So one of those will be Explore the Twilio API, and one of those will be Play Twilio Quest. Play Twilio Quest is where you're going to want to start. So Twilio Quest, as mentioned, is a free educational game. You can grab it. We'll play it in a bit, and then I'll show you how to get started with it. But by playing Twilio Quest every day, you'll earn experience. As you earn experience, that experience will count towards our leaderboard, and the top players at the end of the week will earn some special swag. So whilst you're using Twilio Quest to learn this week, you can also be in the chance for winning something. And I'll walk you through how to join the operation in a minute. There's a code here, and also in the Discord channel that you'll be able to use. Next up is explore the Twilio API. So as I mentioned, Twilio has a whole bunch of different APIs and different ways to, to build Twilio into your apps. Have a go at, interacting with the different Twilio APIs, and try out a different API every day. Send a text message one day, send a voice message another day, send a voice call another day, send an email, play around with the APIs, try different APIs out. And that's another challenge that'll be available every day throughout the week. And then the final challenge is kind of a project that will happen throughout the week. So this is to get you set up with WhatsApp. So our other sets of daily challenges will help you build a web app that will send and receive WhatsApp messages. So you can build a WhatsApp powered application. And every day this week, it will move along in that course. So today, the daily challenge is to get set up with the Twilio API, get your account ready, and get a app ready in your programming language of choice. And then tomorrow, you'll receive your first WhatsApp message. Oh, no, actually, sorry. Tomorrow, you'll get the sandbox set up. And then on Wednesday, you'll receive your first WhatsApp message. And by the end of the week, you'll be sending and receiving WhatsApp messages through your very own web app. So keep an eye out for those challenges and follow along. There'll be a new tutorial linked every single day. So let's talk about Twilio Quest. So as I mentioned, Twilio Quest is a free educational game. You can grab it at this URL. And with... or you could, if my keyboard was working. There you go. You can grab it at that URL that I've just dropped in chat. It is available for Windows, Mac, Linux, and also Raspberry Pi, but your mileage may vary. That is experimental. You just grab it from the downloads page, and it will download an application to your desktop. One question we get a lot is, why is Twilio Quest a desktop application? Twilio Quest is a desktop application because it uses the software you have on your computer. It doesn't, for example, when you create JavaScript code, it doesn't send that code to us. It runs it on your machine, so that anything you run, you're not sending code off to us. It's all happening on your machine. So anything you do, for example, whilst you're learning JavaScript, you're also learning how to set up JavaScript on your computer, so that once you're done with the course, your computer is ready to go to continue programming. So that's why it's a desktop app. If anyone has any questions about that, please let me know. Once you download it, you will then be able to start it, and you will start in, that's not where we want to start. You will start in this launcher. So you'll have a little launcher pop up like this. And when you first start, it will say the current version, 3.2.7 is the current version. And here it will say it's downloading. So when you start this launcher, this is how you get to different versions of Twilio Quest. It will start downloading the first version of Twilio Quest, the latest version that's available, which is 3.2.7. And once that's downloaded, you can just click play to start the game. Now I'm going to turn the music up because Twilio Quest has a lovely soundtrack. So hopefully you should hear some music once we're through the loading screen. And Twilio Quest is a top-down RPG style game that you control with the WASD key on your keyboard. We can press spacebar to start. And when you start, there'll be a cinematic, which I'll turn down now. So there'll be a cinematic that explains the game, explains the story. There's a deep lore in this game. If you're impatient, you can press spacebar to click through it, but I highly recommend watching it. It's great fun. And then once this is over, you will be in the game. So you're first going to set up your character, and to set up your character, you have to enter your name, and then you select an avatar or you create a custom one. I'm just going to select one for now, and then you press enter, and you will be in what we call the prologue. This prologue is kind of like a tutorial on how the game works. So here we're talking to Kiara, and Kiara has various chat options to tell us, how to play the game and how to control it. Let me turn the music back up now. There we go. You should be able to hear the music. It's a bit quiet. So yeah, you'll learn how to play the game, and once you've learned how to play the game, you can jump straight in. So this prologue mission will walk you through how to play Twilio Quest, how to use all of the stuff. So I'll give you a brief example, and then I'll move on. So for example, Twilio Quest is mostly about passing these barriers. So here I press spacebar to lower that barrier, and then I come over here to get access to my hacking tool. So this is a tutorial on how to play the game. I recommend playing this through. It takes about 20 minutes to play through this. If you've played Twilio Quest before, or if you are confident you know how to play the game, you can skip the prologue to get straight into the mission select, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to click skip and go through to the Fog Owl. But for you folks, if you're new to the game, I recommend playing it. But when you finish the prologue, you will come through to the Fog Owl. And the Fog Owl is kind of the mission hub. It's the ship that the game takes place on. And the game will start off by telling you that there are 2 areas on the Fog Owl where you can find missions. So the first of those areas is this navigation map up here, the big blue spinning thing. And then the other area where you can find missions is this green VR room. And I'll explain the difference between those 2 things. But first, I see some folks in chat. I'm Matt Davison. If you're stuck on Twilio Quest, feel free to throw questions on what you're stuck on in chat, and I will try and get through and help you out with where you're stuck. So the nav map and the VR console are the 2 places where there are Twilio missions, where there are Twilio Quest missions, sorry. What is the difference between them? So the navigation map is primarily where you can learn about coding and programming concepts along that aren't related to Twilio itself necessarily. So for example, here you can learn about open source. So if you've heard about open source, if you've heard about contributing to open source projects, and you've heard of Git and GitHub, and you're like, oh, I wish I knew how to do that, the Forest of Open Source is a mission that will teach you how to contribute to open source and get you set up with a GitHub account and teach you some Git. Then there's the API Academy. This is a mission that teaches you about APIs and what they are and how the internet works. The Pythonic Temple will teach you about Python syntax and how to code in Python. And the JavaScript Test Lab is very similar, but teaches you how to code in Node.js in JavaScript. So that's all the missions in the nav map. These are general programming and computer science and software engineering missions. In the VR room, we have the Twilio specific missions. So these will get you set up with the Twilio API. They'll teach you how to send messages with Twilio, and it will teach you how to make phone calls with Twilio. So if you're looking at today's challenges and you're like, hey, I want to pass this mission, I want to get ready to use the Twilio API and set up my development environment, a great way to teach yourself how to do this mission is to play Twilio Quest and complete the Twilio API setup training mission. That way you complete 2 Global Hack Week share challenges in one. You play Twilio Quest and you earn your XP for the day, and you get yourself ready to use the Twilio API. Isn't that efficient? 2 challenges for the price of 1. Perfect. So some folks are asking about some Twilio Quest specific stuff. I'll get to your question after I run through the general intro, after I get people set up on Twilio Quest, Matt Davison, but I will come back to it. So stay watching. As Noriman says, a great tip is to ask us on Discord. I will be with you all week in Global Hack Week Share, not just now. I will be in the Discord all week. So in the Discord, you can come to the Ask Twilio Challenge. Twilio channel. So in the MLH Discord, there is an Ask Twilio channel. I will be in there all week. If I am not online, I do sleep occasionally. If I am not online and you need help urgently, another place you can get help is the Twilio Quest Discord, which you will see below me. If you look below me now, you will see a couple of links. And you will see one of them is twill.io/TQ Discord. That is the Twilio Quest Discord. It is a Discord for getting help with Twilio Quest. We have a wonderful community there as well as the rest of my team. And so if you are not getting a response from me in the MLH Discord, drop your question in there, and there's more people there who might be online to help. We have a community that's online pretty much 24/7. So it'll probably be quicker to get help in there. It's also a wonderful place. You should come hang out anyway. So I mentioned that there is a possible prize for playing Twilio Quest. So in Twilio Quest, whenever you complete an objective, you earn experience. So up here, you'll see that I've got 0 XP. I can earn experience by playing missions and completing XP. And as you earn that experience, you can have that experience shown on our leaderboard. Let me show you the leaderboard. This is the leaderboard. So this is the leaderboard for this week. This is just counting XP during Global Hack Week, and at the end of the week, the players with the top 5 XP will win a prize. Will win a Twilio swag box. Don't worry if you haven't gotten started yet. As I said, it will count XP throughout the whole week, so you've got the whole week to play. To get onto this leaderboard, what you have to do is go to your Twilio Quest, look for these settings menu at the top, these three sliders where it says settings. Click on that, click on operations, and then enter the join code in here. You get the join code from the challenges page. Under Play Twilio Quest, you will see join code bear while said, and I'll throw that in the chat as well. Matt Davison, the Discord link is twill.io/TQ Discord. So you grab that join code bear while said, and you enter it in here, or you. Why won't that paste? Okay, I'm just going to put it in manually. Bear while said, and you click join. There we go. And you now see I've joined Global Hack Week Share. So any XP that I now earn will show up on that leaderboard. Okay, let me throw that leaderboard link in here. People are asking for it. There you go. That's the leaderboard link. Let me quickly look through and look at questions. So Just Coder fortuitously says, I guess there are a few missions that require us to pay Twilio. Correct. However, you yourself as an individual will not have to pay a penny. We want to make sure that you have all of the credit you need on your account to not only play Twilio Quest, but to use and learn with Twilio this week. So there are two ways you can get free credit this week. First of all, if you are creating your Twilio account for the very first time, you want to use the link that I'm throwing in chat now. There's a special link. It's in chat. It's also in the challenges. So if you go to the challenges and you look at this challenge here, where it says create an account here, follow that link, and that link will get you set up with $50 free credit. If this is not your first time using Twilio, if you've created a Twilio account in the past and you've run out of credit, if you go to the Discord channel in MLH, so in the MLH Discord, go to Ask Twilio and check out the pinned post. In that pinned post, you will find a promo code which will upgrade your account from trial to a full account and also apply $30 of more credit. So just to run through that again, if this is your first time using Twilio and you don't already have an account, create an account using the link on the challenge page or the link that's been posted in chat, and that will get you set up with an account with $50 free credit. If you have used Twilio before and you've run out of credit, you can apply the promo code that is in the Discord channel, and MLH have put that channel in the chat. Just a warning for you, if you already have a Twilio account and it still has credit on it, do not use the promo code if you don't want to use that credit. When you use the code that's in the Discord channel, it will upgrade you from a trial to a full account, and that will remove any trial credit. So if you've been sitting on a dragon's hoard of trial credit for a future project, say you've got like 80 or 50 or $80 of trial credit, if you use the promo code, that trial credit will be lost when you upgrade your account. So use up the trial credit first before you upgrade, okay? So basically, the message here is you will not have to pay a penny this week. You will not have to put your credit card into Twilio. You do not have to put a credit card into Twilio to sign up. You will all be running on free credit. So at no point should anything bill you. One thing I do want to mention for any of our friends from India, if you are in the chat, these missions here, messaging and voice, will involve a Twilio phone number. So you will get a phone number from Twilio, and that phone number is the number that the text messages and the phone calls will come from. We do not have Indian phone numbers available on Twilio right now, but that is not a problem. You can buy another phone number from another country. I recommend buying a US or a UK phone number, mostly a US number. Go for US number is usually the best. So on your Twilio account, you can buy a US number. The only problem you might have with that is when you want to test your service, you might not be able to call a US number from your Indian phone plan. If that is a problem you have, drop into the Discord channel. We have a hack to solve that. That involves buying two Twilio numbers and calling them from each other. But there are a couple of APIs that don't require a phone number at all. And that's why this daily challenge here is using WhatsApp. This daily, we want to teach you WhatsApp this week and use the WhatsApp API because it doesn't require a phone number at all. So there will be no problem no matter where you are in the world with using the WhatsApp API. That's also true of a couple of other APIs. So the video API obviously doesn't use a phone number. Live doesn't use a phone number. Email doesn't use a phone number. The only ones that use a phone number are SMS and voice. So if you're having trouble with phone numbers because there's not a phone number available in your country, and because you can't phone a foreign phone number from your cell plan, try the WhatsApp API first, and then take a look at some of the other products. So let us play Twilio Quest, and that I think will answer a bunch of questions that people have. So I'm going to walk through the Twilio missions to show you folks how to do it, and to get through any questions, because there's a lot of questions in chat about these missions already, and these missions will help you get set up to complete the rest of the challenges. Does that sound good? I see someone's asking, can I please help how to send a message using Twilio? So let's play through these missions together, and we will learn how to do it. So I'm going to select this mission, the Twilio API setup, and dive straight in. So you'll find when you play this mission, you'll find yourself in the mission, in this lovely green VR environment. And the way Twilio Quest works is there are these laser barriers, and to lower these laser barriers, we have to complete the challenge on this console. So when you interact with a console, there are 3 screens that are really important. So the overview tells you, what's happening. The objective tells you how to pass it, what you actually have to do. So this describes what you actually have to do. And then the tutorial, the description of how to do it, is under the help menu. So this walks you through step by step, the actual thing. And then over here on the right, this is where I need to put in the answers. So let's have a quick look at the overview and do it step by step. So this is going to allow Twilio Quest to validate my progress with the Twilio Quest API, with the Twilio API, using my Twilio account credentials. Sounds good. So what I need to do here is I need to get a Twilio account and get my API credentials, my SID and my auth token, and provide them to Twilio Quest here on the right. So Twilio Quest is telling me what to do. If I want to see how to do that step by step, the help menu will do it, but I know how to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to go over to my browser, and I'm going to go to my Twilio account. And from my Twilio account, here on the console, I can see that information. So I've got my account SID, and I've got my auth token. So I'm going to grab the account SID, and I'm going to put that into Twilio Quest. And then I'm going to grab the auth token and put that into Twilio Quest. However, this is essentially a username and password. So I don't want to reveal it to you very nice, well-meaning people, because that would be a really silly thing to do. So I'm going to do that off screen, so I don't reveal my password to you. And then I will bring it back. And you'll see I've now got my Twilio account SID and my Twilio auth token ready. And so now that these 2 boxes are filled, I can click hack. So again, I'm going to do that off screen just in case anything goes wrong and my auth code gets shown. I'm really determined to make it through this live stream without accidentally revealing my auth code. Okay, we're all good. So you'll see now on my screen that that was successful. My credentials look good, and Twilio Quest has told me I've passed the objective. So Twilio Quest is now set up with my Twilio account credentials. And those 2 things are really important. Whenever you use the Twilio API, whether you do that in Twilio Quest or you do that, from an application or you do that from the command line, these are the 2 pieces of information you are always going to want to use. You're always going to want your account SID, and you're always going to want your auth token. So it's worth grabbing those 2 things and saving them somewhere, save them somewhere secure, because you're going to be coming back to them a lot. And you get those at console.twilio.com. Okay. Great question from Mihal EMP7. Do I need to submit identification documents to buy a number? So, welcome to the wonderful world of telephony. One sec. Twilio number requirements. So, what you have to submit will vary depending on which country you're buying the number in. So, that's why I recommended that you buy a United States number. Because when you buy a United States number, you don't have to submit much information. Whereas for example, I'm in the Netherlands, I do have to submit information to buy a Dutch number. So you can check the regulations for your country from this page. And if in doubt, the United States is an easy place to buy a number in. So go with the United States. If you're seeing anything say like, hey, you need to submit stuff that's hard to do for you, go with the United States. Why is this a thing? as I'm sure you have all experienced, getting spam on your mobile phone is really annoying. Like, we all hate robot calls, we all hate spam callers, we all hate spam text messages. And so lots of countries have laws that try to stop people spamming. And as you can imagine, an API that lets you make automatic texts and phone calls with just like a couple of pieces of like code is very attractive to spammers. So we here at Twilio have to abide by those laws. We have to make sure you abide by those laws so that you're not a fraud risk and you're not a spam risk, basically. So different countries have different spam laws, have different laws required to get a phone number to protect against this. And so if you see anything like that, this is merely making sure that, like, you know, you are not going to go call up a bunch of grannies and steal their bank details, right? So I hope that makes sense. If you have any problems, again, drop into the Discord channel and I will help you get a number. And if you are having, issues that prevent you from getting a number at all, again, the WhatsApp API is a great alternative. The WhatsApp API does not require you to buy a Twilio phone number. So the WhatsApp API is a great place to continue to play with Twilio, but not without having to use a phone number. So back to Twilio Quest, we have just completed the first objective. So a couple of cool things have happened. We've earned XP. So I've now got 200 XP. So I will now appear on the leaderboard. And I've also got a couple of items. So if I now go to my inventory, I can now equip my items. So I'm going to put my operator armor on. I'm going to put my boots on. There we go. I've now got that cool stuff on. And if I go to the leaderboard and give it a refresh, hopefully I'll see myself. There might already be too many players for me to see myself. The leaderboard only shows like the top X players. I actually don't know how many it is. So if you are not showing on the leaderboard, it might be because you haven't got enough XP. Hey, I am showing there. So there's me, and I'm wearing my cool armor. So if you see people on the leaderboard with like fire and Viking helmets and unicorn horns and cat's ears, they've earned those in missions through completing objectives. So let's continue. Over to the next console. So this one is getting a number. So this is, what we've just been talking about. We're going to go to Twilio and buy a phone number. This walks you through how to do it, and then you just paste it in here. So again, we've got the help. I will briefly show you that, and then I'll just use the number I've already got. So on phone numbers, we can go to manage, and then from manage, we can click buy a number. And under buy a number, there's a couple of important things that you're going to want to keep an eye out for. So up here, you'll see you've got the country. So you can choose whatever country you want. So I could buy a number in the United States. And then here it says capabilities. This is what your number is capable of doing. So for example, if I unticked this and only had SMS and MMS, my phone number would not be able to make phone calls. It would only be able to text. So you probably want to leave voice and SMS on at least, and then you can choose a number down here. Once again, you'll see it says monthly fee is $1. Want to remind you that will not charge you $1. You will not have to spend any money. That will charge your Twilio account, which is running on free credit. So that will come out of the credit on your account. If that credit runs out, if you leave this number running for 50 months and in 50 months time you run out of Twilio credit, it will just, expire. You're not going to get automatically billed. We haven't taken your credit card number. So do not worry, you will not get billed. So you then choose a number and you click buy. When you've got that number, you can then copy and paste it into Twilio Quest. My number is already over on my console homepage. So I'm just going to go grab that. This number's not attached to anything. So if you want to be cheeky and text it, that won't do anything currently. But I'm going to put it into there. It's a lovely Dutch number, so I wouldn't recommend texting it if you're outside the Netherlands. That might be expensive. 45145V has asked how to join GHW Share via Twilio Rec. I think what you're asking is how to join the Twilio Quest operation. So what you want to do, 45145V, is go to the settings at the top of Twilio Quest. So that's this button with the free sliders. You're going to click on that. You're going to go to operations. And in here, you're going to grab the code from the challenge page. Where is the code? So underneath the Play Twilio Quest challenge, there's a code here, bear while said, and you're going to put that into here. So you're going to put bear while said into this box and then click join. And then you'll join the operation. So you want the settings menu in Twilio Quest, and then bear while said is the join code, and then you click join. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Why am I getting Discord messages? Where's that coming from? Alrighty. So back on with Twilio Quest. So I've now passed this objective. So now I have got my API credentials set up. My Twilio account is ready to go. I've set up my API credentials. I put them into Twilio Quest, and I've got a phone number. And now I've got this choice between the red room and the blue room. Both of these rooms go to the next mission. So I can't remember which one's which. One of them goes to the messaging mission. One of them goes to the voice mission. So let's have a go and see where we go. VJ has asked, can you disable the number after completing the challenge so you don't waste your credits? Yes, you absolutely can. To release, that's called releasing a number. So if you go to manage your numbers, so you go to phone numbers, manage active numbers, you can click on the number and that will take you to the control panel. Do I have anything I shouldn't show in here? Oh, there we go. So that will take you to the control panel. And at the bottom here, you'll see this red text that says release this number. So if you want to get rid of the number so it doesn't charge your Twilio credit anymore, you go to phone numbers, manage active numbers, click on the phone number, and then click release this number. And then that will release it. It will go back to the pool of Twilio numbers that are possible to buy, and it will no longer bill your account in future months. Though I do want to mention the phone number charge is a monthly charge. So once you have paid for it for the first month, it won't bill you again until the next month. So it's probably worth keeping a hold of the number for this week in case you need it again for, you want to do any other Twilio work during Global Hack Week Share. And then release it at the end of the week, because it won't cost you any extra for this week to have the number, but it will if you release it and then you need to buy another one, that will cost you extra. So keep hold of it for the week and release it at the end of the week would be my advice. I will post a reminder in the Discord channel before the end of the week to remind people to release their numbers if they're done with it, so you don't waste your credit. Let's do that. Let's go with that route. Okay, so I'm now in the red mission. Let's see what the red mission is. Programmable voice. Okay, I don't want to do voice. I want to do SMS because people have questions about meshing. Let me go to the blue room. So we'll go to Twilio Meshing. So this is the meshing mission. And people had questions about meshing. So if you have questions about meshing, this is where we are. So there's going to be some new things that happen in this one. So this is sending my first SMS message using the Twilio API. What it wants me to do is send a message using Twilio. At this point, Twilio Quest does an interesting thing, right? So Twilio Quest, because it's a desktop tool, you can use any programming environment you want. Because if you actually look at what Twilio Quest is asking for here, what it's asking for is the message ID of a message sent from our Twilio account. It doesn't care what programming language you use to send that message. It doesn't care how that message got sent. All it wants is to know that a message has been sent. So at this point, if you're a Java developer or a Python developer, you can go and write a Twilio app in whatever language you want. And all you have to do is send that message, and then you can put the message ID here in Twilio Quest. But if you want to, if you want a little bit of extra help with doing this, if you're happy to use JavaScript, Twilio Quest has an inbuilt code editor. So here up in the top bar, you will see Show Code Editor. That is a code editor built into the game that uses JavaScript. And so you can follow along with all of the missions for Twilio using that inbuilt code editor without having to set up your own development environment. If you do want to use another language or you want to get your own app set up, again, we go back to the Global Hack Week Share Challenges page, and where we have the challenge to get ready to use the Twilio API by setting up your local development environment, here at the bottom, you will see there is tutorials for every language. These for not every language, for every language that you're probably going to be using. Obviously, we don't have Swift or Haskell here, but most of the languages are there. So these tutorials will walk you through creating your first Twilio app in the language of your choice. So if you don't want to use JavaScript and you don't want to use the inbuilt text editor, maybe it's because you're going to build a Twilio app and so you want to get it set up on your machine anyway, you can follow these tutorials. Pro tip, a little thing I realized, one of the other challenges is follow any tutorial to build something new. So again, we can get great 2-for-1 value because these are tutorials. Follow any tutorial. Follow these tutorials. You'll not only complete this challenge, you'll also complete this challenge. We're geniuses. We're scamming the system. Don't tell MLH. Don't let Rosendo know. But you can do it. Okay, so, but I'm going to do it here in the inbuilt text editor to show you how this works. So this has some code already in it. This code is Node.js. Node.js is server-side JavaScript. So it's JavaScript that runs on the back end, not on the front end. And what this code is doing is grabbing the Twilio credentials that we gave to Twilio Quest earlier, and is just sending a message. So here we'll see client.messages.create. This is the Twilio API. So the Twilio API, for every programming language, we have what's called an SDK, a software development kit. This is a set of functions that wrap the web API to make it really easy to use from your programming language. So in JavaScript, all we have to do to send a message is say messages.create. We're going into the message API and we're creating a message. And then when you send a message, there's a couple of things that it needs. It needs to know where the number is coming, where the message is coming from. And that's our Twilio number that, again, we sent earlier. And then you need to give some more information. So we're going to have to say like, hey, this message isn't going to anyone. Who are we sending this to? So we'll have a to. And then we might have some text that goes in the message. And that might be a message body, right? So let's complete this. I'm going to do something extremely silly, and I'm going to put my phone number in here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to be clever. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to be Wile E. Coyote, and I'm going to make it so I don't expose my number on a Twitch chat. What a novel idea! I think it would be nice for once not to accidentally expose my phone number on a Twitch chat. That would be really useful. But how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? No, you know what? That's too much effort. Here we go. If anyone has the ability to text a Dutch number, welcome to Joe's phone number. There we go. So I'm going to put a number in there, and I'm going to put, hello, Joe. It's my message body. So that's all we need to send a message. We've got the from, the to, and the body. You might be saying like, hey, Joe, I'm not going to remember that when I come and do this objective. Again, just to remind you, in the help menu of every objective is where you can get all of this information. The help menu will teach you how to use it. So if you're in a Twilio Quest objective and you're thinking, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, always click on the help tab, and the help tab will walk you through it. So here we can see what information do I need to send an SMS message. You need your body, you need your to, and you need your from. Exactly what we have just put in there. You will notice there's a bit of text here on the to that says, if you're using a trial account, this must be one of your verified phone numbers. If you created your account today, if this is your first time using Twilio, your account will be a trial account. That just means that, again, like we want to make sure that people don't use Twilio to call up old ladies and scam them out of their bank details. And so there are some limitations on trial accounts. And one of those limitations is that you have to verify a number before you can text and call it. So you will verify your number, the number on your cell phone, so that when you're testing, you can send and receive from that number. And you can't, for example, go create a script that calls up everyone in your city, right? All of the limitations are explained on here. So if you're hitting a weird problem and you're like, I think the problem I have is to do with trial limitations, you can check on this page. If the problem you're having is to do with trial limitations, drop me a message and we'll get you upgraded. So that way, cool. So Kajan asked, how do we upgrade again? You can use the promo code in the Discord channel, but chat to me first, because again, you will lose your trial credit if you upgrade. So drop me a DM or tag me in the Discord channel, and we'll have a quick chat to make sure that you do need to upgrade, and then we can walk through how to do that. Pradam has asked, it shows 2 accounts when I log in. How to delete one? Oh, interesting. Pradam, when you say it shows 2 accounts, do you mean, I don't know actually what that would look like. Do you mean you've got 2 accounts up here? Sorry, I clicked the button. So there's a drop down here. Do you mean you can see two accounts up there? Because if that's the case, you can, I believe you can delete the account from manage. Oh, from sub accounts, I think. So from here, you should be able to delete the account from sub accounts. Pradham, this might be something we have to jump on Discord and have a look at after, just so I can make sure that I'm telling you to do the right thing and don't accidentally delete the wrong account. Okay, so let's go do this objective. Great question from Matt Davison. Matt Davison, I will get to you in a second. Do not go anywhere with that question. Asking about Ngrok is a really great question. So I'm going to click play, and this is now running my program. So what Twilio Quest is doing is running my this program and sending off a message. And you'll see it sent the message, and it's given me this. And I can now enter this. This is a message SID. I can enter this in here. Where this message SID comes from is I am console logging the message SID. If you are using if you're sending a message on your own machine through your own programming language or any other way, you want to get the message SID. So you can do it like we're doing it here in JavaScript by console logging the message SID. You can also go to your monitor tab in Twilio and go to logs, and that will show you everything you've done in your account. And so you can see sent messages and their SIDs in the logs. That's another way of getting it. Okay. So I'm going to put that message SID in and then click hack. Great question, Irving. So Irving said in the challenge, get ready to use the Twilio API by setting up your development environment. Irving has asked, what do we need to show in the screenshot? Basically, you need to show any application you need to show any API request successfully sent to Twilio. So that could be, for example, sending an SMS to Twilio and getting the response back. That can be using the API from the command line. Basically, you just want to show that you have been able to send an API request to Twilio. Because what this is asking you to do, what this challenge is asking you to do, is set up your first Twilio application using one of these programming languages and using your API credentials. So just post a screenshot that shows that application works and you'll be good to go. One second. Great question in the Discord. If your account gets suspended or you have any issues of your account being banned or suspended throughout Global Hack Week, DM me, tag me straight away, and we'll walk through getting that solved for you. Okay, so I've done this task and it's now unlocked and I can move on. This next mission is also going to get to your question, Matt Davison. So Matt Davison asked, how do I get this to work on the call side of things? Do I have to use Ngrok or can I run it in game? So this is a really, some missions will ask you to use Ngrok, and this is an example of one that asks you to use Ngrok. And let me tell you why that is. So this code is a little bit different. This code we have here, oh, sorry, let me explain what's actually happening. So in this objective, in the last objective, we sent a message. In this objective, we're going to be receiving a message. And how that works on Twilio is that Twilio is like sitting up there in the cloud. And when someone sends a message to our Twilio phone number, that phone number gets the message and then tells Twilio in the cloud, like, hey, this phone number has a message. Can you send that to the owner's application? And so Twilio then needs to send the information about that text message to our application. And for that to happen, our application has to be accessible on the internet, right? Like it has to be able to be reached from the internet. And so someone is asking about Ngrok. What you will see us recommend is a tool called Ngrok. So some of you may have built websites before, you may have hosted websites before, and you may have, for example, encountered like web hosts or cloud services on servers, right? So when you create an application on your computer is probably not directly connected to the internet. You probably don't, unless you're really into web development, you probably don't have like a domain name or an IP that's exposed to the internet. What you will likely see when you create an application on your computer is localhost, which is 127.0.0.1. This is a special web address that's only accessible from your computer and from your network. To make for Twilio to be able to get to our application, we have to expose our application to the internet. And a really easy way to do that without having to deal with deployments and servers and all this kind of stuff is by using Ngrok. And what Ngrok is it's a tunneling tool. So Ngrok, what Ngrok will do is it will set up a tunnel from your local hosts. Okay, cool. It will set up a tunnel from localhost on your machine to a web address that they create, so that any requests that go to the Ngrok web address will be sent to localhost on your machine. So I'll give you an example. I'll start up my terminal. Turns out I already had a terminal open. One sec. Boop. Here's my terminal. Let me make that a bit bigger. So I've got a terminal, and what's going on here? There we go. Okay, is that big enough? I hope it's big enough. So I've got a terminal, and I'm going to do Ngrok HTTP 8080. So what that means is I'm telling Ngrok to start a tunnel using HTTP to port 8080 on my machine. So I click enter, and so now I get this. So what it's saying is it's going to forward requests at this address, this web address, to localhost port 8080. So if I had a web application running on localhost port 8080, it's accessible on the internet from this. And this is super amazing. Like, you wouldn't use this to actually host a web service or an application, but if you just want to, like, say you build a web app and you want to give it to your friend to have a look at, or you're trying to pass TwilioQuest and you just want a URL, this gets you a URL that you can use straight away. So, as Matt Davison asks, in our code editor for this objective, what we've got here is a web server listening on port 8767, and we need Twilio to be able to get to this web server. So when I click play, you will see that we have a web server running on localhost 8767. So I want to tell Ngrok to do HTTP 8767, and now this URL goes to localhost 8767. Matt Davison asked, how comes my Ngrok sub is so short? I'm actually not sure what you mean. I'm on the free, so this account is on the free plan, and this is quite a long address. It's giving me a really long address. Oh, do you mean my command? You mean this command? So I have my, when you download Ngrok, or you install Ngrok, if you download it from the website, it will just give you an executable. My Ngrok executable is in my home directory, so that's why. If you download it and you don't move it, you might end up having to go like you might end up being like downloads Ngrok instead. Oh, I mean, my Ngrok, that Ngrok subdomain was pretty big. I mean, that's not short, Matt Davison. That's like 16 characters. How long are you getting? 45145V asks, can I use my own domain instead of Ngrok? You absolutely can. Twilio does not, like, as long as it's accessible from the web, Twilio doesn't care. Obviously, the only thing you need to, the difficulty 45 is that you need to know how to set up a domain to point to a server running on your local machine, and that is not trivial for many reasons. But yes, if you know how to do that, you definitely can use your own domain. If you are running a server on a cloud host like Google Cloud or AWS or Azure, it's a lot easier. But getting a domain pointed to a server on a home network is quite difficult, because like domestic machines, like commercial machines, A, aren't really set up to expose that to the internet super easily, and B, your ISP and the router your ISP gives you may not be set up for that. But it is possible. Okay, so I actually didn't even look what we need to do in this mission. So in this mission, we are receiving a message and then replying to it. So if I look at the code, you will see that I have, where's my time, 54 minutes, cool. You'll see some things that are really important to note. here is a common problem that people always have on this objective. So if this is your first time seeing web servers, this might be new to you. It says here app.post. What that is doing is creating a post endpoint on the web server. So in HTTP, there are what we call verbs, and verbs control what that endpoint does, what that URL does. So for example, if I were to go to google.com and press enter, the enter key in my browser, this sends a GET request using the GET verb to Google. And what the GET request says is, hey, this connection wants to receive information from the server. The post request is the opposite way around. It says this connection wants to post, it wants to send information to the server. So here is where everyone trips up on this. A post is not does not always respond with content. So quite often what people will do on this is they'll get the server running, they'll set up Ngrok, and then they'll try to go to the URL from their browser, which sends a GET request, and so they get a 404 because this is set up as a post endpoint, not a GET endpoint. This is a post endpoint because when Twilio sends us the message content to our server, it does it via post. So if you want to test this, you will have to send a post request, not go to it in your browser. So if you go to this in your browser and it doesn't work, don't worry, it's probably fine. The way you want to test it is to set it up with Twilio and send a message. VJ says, feeling overwhelmed after seeing this as a beginner. VJ, do not worry about that. Bear in mind that I am running through this stuff really quickly because I have 60 minutes on a live stream, right? You have the whole week. You've got a super long time to learn all of this, right? Like this is me trying to communicate as much stuff to as many people as I can in a short period of time. When you sit down with this and you've got the tutorial here in the objectives, the tutorial walks you through all this information, it explains it, it provides more resources, it will make a lot more sense and won't be as overwhelming. If I was seeing this for the first time and I was going through it in an hour, I would probably be overwhelmed as well. I will be here throughout the whole week to answer any questions you have as you dig into it. Just feel free to message me on the Discord. If you've got a question that you're shy about asking in public, feel free to DM me. I'll be checking my DMs as well. We are here to help, so do not worry. Matt Davison asks how to close the Ngrok tunnel. Just press Control-C. So just shut down the command. So it's just Control-C. And that will shut down Ngrok. Okay. So that is pretty much it for my time. We're coming up dead on 60 minutes. So again, just a brief summary of everything we have going on this week. There are 2 challenges that you can do every day that are running the whole week. So the first is explore the Twilio API. All you need to do here is try out a new Twilio API. So you could send a WhatsApp today. You could phone someone tomorrow. You could send an email on Wednesday. Just try out a new API every day. And that's that challenge. The second one is playing Twilio Quest. Twilio Quest is a free educational game. You can get it from twilio.com/quest. It will teach you how to program. It will teach you how to use Twilio. It will teach you how to do open source. It will teach you how to use APIs. Whatever you want to learn, there's a bunch of content in here. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you're like, hey, I don't know what an API is, jump in the Twilio Quest and do the API Academy, and that will teach you what an API is. By playing, you will earn XP, and if you join the Twilio Quest operation by following the instructions here and in the Discord channel, you are in for a chance of winning a prize based on your Twilio Quest play. And then finally, if you want to learn to use Twilio and you want to learn to send messages using Twilio, keep an eye out for this objective that changes every day. And follow along. So every day we are giving you the next step in the process. So today we're getting your Twilio account set up and getting you ready with an application. Tomorrow we'll get started on the WhatsApp API. And by the end of the week, you will have an application that is sending and receiving WhatsApp messages. So that's the other challenge. If at any point you are stuck or have questions, a couple of places you can go. So first up, you can go to the Ask Twilio channel in the Discord. They go this channel. Ask Twilio, MLH Discord, Ask Twilio. You can drop into there and ask me questions. And then finally, below me here, you will see a link that says twil.io/TQ Discord. That is the Twilio Quest Discord. And there are lots more people in there who can help. So if I'm offline, I'm based in the Netherlands, my time zone might not match yours. If I'm offline and you have a question, you can go to that Discord and get some help there as well. So last question from Matt Davidson. You link Ngrok as a webhook. That is correct. So in your Twilio number, you go to manage the number, and then you go down to where it says receive an SMS or receive a phone call, and then you put it in there as a webhook. Thank you all so much for asking so many questions. And again, just a reminder, I've run through the whole week's worth of activities in 60 minutes. You have a week to do all this, a week to learn all these concepts. I will be here all week. All I'm doing this week is answering your questions. So if you need help with any of it, if you need any of it explained, please do not be shy to ask. I am here to answer your questions this week. Please make it look so I've done lots of work by the end of the week. I want to make sure that my manager knows that I've helped loads of people. So come ask me questions and enjoy your Global Hack Week. Thank you all so much, and I will see you on the Discord. And now I will wave until Rosendo yanks me from the screen.